Hey, everybody. I just want to, before we get started, I want to thank my friends over at Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air. My husband, he loves me because one day I am on fire hot.
I'm on fire!
Okay. It's all right, you're not on fire!
I knew it, you're lying! I'm fired!
There is no fire!
And so I turn the AC on, and then the next day, it's a little chilly out.
I am freezing. Why is it getting so cold?
It's rainy. Then I turn the furnace on and I go back and forth. And this actually happens all year long. Call it menopause. I don't know what is going on with my body, but I know that I like to be comfortable temperature wise. That's why I have on speed dial my friends at Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air. They're the triple threat. Family owned and operated, locally owned and operated, veteran owned and operated. Damn! Right now, they have got a great special going on. It's their spring tune-up sale where they will come in, they will change filters, they will check all the sensors, they will make sure your air conditioning unit is running like a top. Because you may be thinking, well, yeah, it turns on and it didn't work as well. It doesn't work as well as it did when we originally put it in, but that's just normal wear and tear. What if I told you odds are you're spending more money with an old unit because you're running it so hard? So if you want something brand new, they've got great incentives, great deals going on for a new AC unit, or again, that $99 spring tune-up special. This is awesome. They'll come in and they'll make sure everything is running like a top, so you're not spending extra money. And also you're elongating the life of your air conditioning unit. Call my friends, or better yet, go online and see all the different things they have to offer. PolarBearPHA.com, PolarBearPHA.com. Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air is a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends podcast.
I'm going to say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Let's talk about marriage.
They have like a 2-second rebound rate and you're back doing the next pain in the ass thing.
Parenting. Oh my gosh.
They have sucked the pretty right out of me. They treat me like it, and I do their laundry. Lucky me.
Sex.
I'm caught between two evils. I generally like to take the one I never tried.
Scary stuff like ghosts. I know it's totally out of left field, but just go with me on this.
Boo, you whore.
Love.
I give you what you need. That's all. I'm talking about taking care of each other the best you can. What's wrong with taking care of a woman? She takes care of you.
Friendships.
Lincoln, our necklace says best friends forever.
Sure you want it to say forever? I don't think you guys will be best friends forever, no offense. But sometimes you grow apart, and maybe she'll find a new best friend. They end up doing everything together.
I would like to start this episode today by thanking my husband for being so understanding.
I'm a trooper.
You are such a trooper because I forgot to turn your pod up. And so your microphone didn't work. And I have been up here for like an hour trying to edit it. So it's just me talking and I cut you out and I try to piece it together. And it is so just random. I'm like, my brother went to Taiwan. I love the 99-cent menu at Wendy's. Like, it's so choppy that I'm like, okay.
So what you're saying is it doesn't work without me. That's what you're saying.
What I'm saying is it really doesn't work without you. But I do have a question. So let's just jump right into it. You have something really fascinating to talk about that you learned about AI, which I find to be kind of intriguing.
I didn't like it. I don't like it.
Oh, you don't like it? Well, I don't like it either, but
let's just say that AI is getting like the ethical uses of it. Not
I
good.
know. It's really bad. And there are so many videos that I see online and I'm like, is that real or is that just AI? Like there's one going around right now. It's like a cruise ship and it's full of people and they're dancing and everybody's hanging out and a giant wave comes. I, for the life of me, don't know. Did that really happen? I feel like I would have heard if that happened, but I think it was AI, but it's going like viral.
Yeah. Like I know what you're saying. I've seen the
you saw it?
Yeah. Come over. It's a weird thing to talk about.
It is. So, okay. Ryan was like, I want to bring something up, but I don't know. What do you think if we talked about this? And I think we should definitely talk about this. But first, I want to ask you a question, okay?
Yeah.
So tomorrow, I'm going to be doing an interview with a woman who started a company, and her job is, well, this company's job is it goes in and it cleans up after like hoarding situations.
Okay.
It also cleans up. It's called Bio One is the company. Also cleans up after people have died in a house. That's their job is they go in and they do like a cleaning after. Because if you think about it, after someone dies, like say they die in like a not great way and it's a mess. And that could be any of us, you guys. That, I mean, not to bring you down on this Tuesday, but that could be any of us. And then you think they take the body. What do you think the ambulance drivers just do? So all the crime
scene basically stays like the crime scene or whatever it may be.
And they come in and they clean up the crime scenes.
Do you think like detectives have like the cards for those people? They're like, hey, FYI, we're leaving, but here's this company.
I'm pretty sure the company that I'm talking to is like the company.
Really?
Where they have different locations and they go in and they do, I'd say God's work, which is cleaning up so these families can maybe move back into their home and they do that work. I couldn't imagine, but I was writing out some questions and I just wanted to ask you, do you have any questions? What would you be interested in knowing about? Not even so much with crime scene. Yes, we're going to be touching on that, but it's also going to be about hoarders. I'm fascinated with that show, Hoarders. And I used to always joke and say, well, the thing about Hoarders is after I watch it, I feel really good about my housekeeping skills. But it's such a sad, like mental illness. It's really sad.
Yeah, I'm sure it's the same questions that everybody has. Like, did you ever find anybody that's dead? Or like, what's the strangest thing you found? It makes me think, deviating from the hoarders to go anti-hoarders and go minimalism. There's somebody moving on our block that we know, right? And we're over there talking to them and whatnot. And you know, when you move into your house, it feels so big and clean.
Yeah.
And then you sell it and you clean it and you declutter it and it feels again so big and clean. And I walked into their garage as I was talking to them and I'm like, this feels amazing. Doesn't this feel great to declutter your entire house? But they are moving. And it makes me want to do that. It makes me want to minimalize the entire damn house, everything.
And just get rid of everything.
And go anti-hoarder.
So, but what does that constitute? I mean, everything, every room?
Not everything, but like only what is like just 2 steps above necessary.
I feel like what you're explaining right now is Marie Kondo.
Don't know who that is.
I think that's her name. She had this really famous Netflix series where she's the woman who's like, if it doesn't spark joy in you, then you got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So when you're cleaning a drawer, when you're cleaning a closet, unless it really emotionally sparks for you, she says, throw it out. You're not going to miss it.
Not going to miss it. Take a photo of it. Right.
See, but this is where I disagree because there are so many times where I'm like, I've had this for a million years and I'm never going to use it. So I'm going to take it to the Goodwill. And then I do it. And you know what happens? A week later, I'm like, ooh, you know what I have? I could use that.
Has it ever been so expensive that you can't re-get it?
No, but it's been annoying.
Sure. But I bet you that's like a 10% thing, 5% even.
I know, but still, it still is the worst feeling. You're like, oh.
But remember like when we were buying a home, walking into model homes.
Oh, yeah.
And there's nothing. It just feels so great.
Yeah. And the dog hasn't barfed on the carpet.
I kind of feel that we have that home a little bit, at least compared to all of our like neighbors and friends. I feel like we have very little on the walls or things out compared to a lot of other people. And I kind of want to even go further with it.
Well, and that's like our whole house is pretty minimal, except for this Zen Den studio that I have. That's what I call it.
Every inch is covered.
Where every inch is covered on the wall with photos. And so but I kind of find that to be cozy. There's something to be said about, I don't want to say owning a lot of stuff, but a couch that's full of comfy, fluffy pillows to me is better than just a cream colored couch.
I go the other way. I do. I think it just feels so good to have like little, and then you're not owned by it.
Okay. Can I give you some of these questions?
Of the hoarders?
Yes, because I'm talking to the woman who started it, the CEO of Bio One. And I want
give us a few because you're going to do an episode. Like
I am. It's going to be part of the interview series where we're going to be talking just about hoarders. And that's what my fascination is, because 19 million Americans have a hoarding disorder where they just can't get rid of it. So odds are you may know somebody that has a hoarding disorder. But here's some questions that I came up with. And I always like to kind of do an outline, or else I'll just be like, what's that like? Hey, everybody. Sadie here, breaking in really quick. Just telling you about my friends at Garage Door Service and Sales.
I love them.
Locally owned and operated, family owned and operated, passed down from generation to generation. They've got an amazing rating if you look them up. They've got a great rating with the Better Business Bureau. They are here for the community because they've been in the community for so long. If you want something different with your garage door, don't listen. You can paint your entire house.
No, don't do it.
Or maybe just get a different garage door. It will change the entire look of your home, I promise you. And they have technology right now that just can't be beat. You can literally be anywhere in the world,
China,
and just push a button and it will close your garage door and it will alert you. It will say you're all set. Your home is locked up. Or it'll say, hey, dummy, you forgot to close your garage door. You push a button on your phone, it closes it for you. You're taken care of. You don't even have to get out of bed.
you disgust me.
We're in the future, people. Call my friends at Garage Door Service and Sales. Garage Door Service and Sales, a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends podcast.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Chris Farley skit. That's me, where he's doing an interview and he's like, that's cool.
God, I hate doing this part. Oh, God dang it. What an idiot. I'm sorry.
So I have to really...
I don't think you should do questions. I think you should just learn as much as you possibly can about it and talk to them.
Really crap. I wrote down a bunch of questions.
But then you're just going to be like, I'm going to go through my list and see what we can do. Like have a few questions, like the outline, I think, like you said, but just learn more about it and then just be so curious and talk to them about it.
Okay. So here's some of the questions.
Yeah.
Is there a job that you've ever turned down? Because half the time when I watch when I watch Hoarders Buried Alive and they're like, it's so bad, I think burn the house down, burn that there's spider eggs in the refrigerator and everything there's flies everywhere. I really do think 99% of the time when I watch that show, burn it down, burn it all.
Have you ever? That's a good one. That's a good lead.
Have you ever said no to something? What's the strangest thing you found? What's the hardest thing to clean? Is it, and in what way is it hard to clean?
And what tips on how to clean things? Blood, brains.
I don't want people to sit down the road.
No one's going to ever clean, I guess, brains. That'd be, but like, say you get blood on you, right? Yeah. How do you clean blood? How do you clean blood out of the carpet? How do you clean all the dog pee?
But here's the thing. They've got these high-tech machines, they come in with like the super suction.
Yeah, but I bet you she'd have like some like hints on like, oh yeah, you want to clean blood?
I don't know. I just feel like if I have her for 30 minutes, I don't want to ask her different cleaning ways that they do it. But
that's what I'm interested in. Here's
something I'm interested. Because I believe she runs it with her family. And I want to ask her, how did you even fall into this? No one as a little girl is like, you know what? I want to clean up crime scenes one day, or I want to go into someone's house that's hoarding. I love, the woman's name is Cheryl, and she's so sweet. And she's like, I just want to make sure when we talk that we do justice for these families because they've already been through so much. And if we can just come in and take care of the cleaning part, she's just so calm and kind. And I feel
she's
like
probably seen people they're just like, not the worst, not saying that, but like at their lowest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, it makes me so sad. I said, one of my questions is, what do you wish more people knew about hoarders? And what kind of infestations have you found? That's on the list. Look at that. I made one heck of a good list. So anyway, I'm going to be talking to Cheryl from Bio One. That's coming out this week. I believe I'm going to be releasing it on Friday. So keep in mind and set it to automatic download. I was telling Ryan earlier that I try not to check the numbers of the podcast too often because then it becomes kind of like an addiction. And I don't like that. That's not a good thing. And so I haven't checked it. And then I did today. I don't know what I did, but 5 times the number of downloads today, 5 times the average number of downloads. I think it's amazing.
Did you talk about something that was like super topical and then like the people randomly?
You know what I did? I had my mom on.
Oh yeah. She'll bring it.
She brings it hard. And what's so funny is after I had her on, if you missed that episode, that was last week, you can go find it and maybe give it a listen. My mom is like, She is Roseanne.
Go clean up your room.
It's clean.
Then go clean my room.
She is she looks like Roseanne. She talks like Roseanne. She just doesn't care. And so what's so funny is I asked her some questions because I think it's really cool. I think it's very special to interview people if you can. And nowadays with an iPhone or with any smartphone, you could just record yourself interviewing people. But I think you should interview your loved ones,
Sorry, I was just thinking something, not waving at you.
Your grandparents or your parents. And so that's what I did. I interviewed her and it got such a huge response. And so I called her and I'm like, holy crap, like everyone loves your advice because it's pretty much like, stop being a little biatch. There is no soft touch. Again, we're talking about a Roseanne mom. And so she said, well, if people would like, I'll give them advice as well. And so that's actually an option. Now you can either call in and we can record your question, or you can write me, just slide into my DMs. I don't know if I said that right. Or you can just go onto the website and submit. It's sadieandfriends.net. But I think that's what it was.
Has an answer for everything.
Yeah.
He's kind of, we were watching like 30 Rock a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the character Tracy Jordan, who's played by Tracy Morgan.
Oh yeah,
you can ask him anything, and he's just like, answer, boom.
Tracy Jordan, hero, husband, diabetic / alcoholic.
Yeah, it's your mom. Your mom. You could just be like, any random topic, she'll give you a damn answer, her opinion on it. She's opinionated about everything.
She's opinionated about everything, but you know what? She's also incredibly laid back in a lot of ways. Like she's just kind of hit that age where she's like, I don't really care. I'm going to die. She says that I'm going to die in probably 10 years. So I'm just going to be dead honest with you about everything.
I will say, I think in the last like year or two, I have not had a conversation with your mother where death was not brought up by her.
It's serious where I'll be like, Mom, have you seen that show? And she'll be like, I'm probably going to die at some point. Why would I even watch a new show? Yeah. And I mean, she uses, Mom, should we order pizza and get together Friday? I don't know. I'm going to die soon. So what are you going to do? Probably not. Goodbye. And I'm like, Mom. So
it's also so great because she'll go back and forth every other conversation about death. And she'll literally look at me like she's talking to herself, but she's looking at me. I don't know. Inheritance. I think I should just spend it all, Ryan. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, she does that
cool.
a lot too.
And then she'll go, I don't know, but do you want some? And just like back and forth. And I'm just like, hi, Jen.
But you have to think, yeah, I'm just ordering dinner. I asked what you like on your pizza. But you have to think that is a time in your life that you've never experienced before. I mean, you've never really had to think that much into it. I remember my grandma, she was very much like, I can't spend any money and she had money. She had oil money. And so she had money. And I'm like, Grandma, live your life, buy a car that you enjoy driving, or, live in a house that you think is beautiful near a park. Like, don't save that money for your pissant kids, because odds are generationally, they say one generation gets rich. The next generation, it kind of hangs on to it. By the third generation, it's done. You got your Paris Hiltons where you're making sex tapes and it's a mess. But my mom really is about the whole death thing right now. Mm-hmm. It just completely creeps me out. But moving on, I want to move on really quick because McDonald's, I read this hack and I don't know why it made me laugh. And it made me think of you because Ryan is the type of guy where when we go and we go through a drive-through, he is like the soup Nazi, only he's the drive-through Nazi, where we all must have our order ready and then we must all step up and say our order. And if there is a change, or I've noticed, because I can be very picky, if I get too picky, oh my God, it drives him crazy. If I'm like, okay, no onion, but can I get extra pickles? And if you could just put the ketchup on the side, it makes him insane.
Here's the deal. There are two reasons for this. So I want us to imagine you go through a drive-through. There's 6-7 cars in there, right? We go up to it And then it's like you've never been there before. You're like learning a new language. You're like, I don't know. What's your favorite thing? You start asking the person questions.
They're like, ma'am, this is Taco Bell. It's not like we invented the wheel here.
This is where I appreciate the soup Nazi. And this is where you're Elaine, where you get kicked out of the soup Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many other people. Be considerate. Know what you want. You've been to Chick-fil-A before. You know what you're getting. Even I know what you're getting. Just order it and stop asking questions.
I love asking questions, but I don't think I would go so far as this. So again, this is a hack that I read about McDonald's. If you want to save money, say you're craving a Big Mac. If you want to save money instead of paying for it, it's as easy as asking for a McDouble, which I think is like $1, a McDouble with no ketchup or mustard. And then just ask, and I'm like reading this going, this isn't a casual ask. This is to me kind of a major ask, but then ask them to add on shredded lettuce, Big Mac sauce, and some extra cheese and an extra bun. And I'm like, what? You're essentially asking them to put on a whole other sandwich and extras. And it made me laugh because I thought the next time we go to McDonald's, I'm going to do this with you in the car. Just to watch your head explode. I'm going to go up and go, okay, here's what I want. I want a McDouble, no ketchup and mustard, add this. Would you mind throwing on a McFlurry on top of it all? To me, that's what this sounds like.
Here's the other reason why we should not do that in a drive-thru. 80% of the time, they screw up my order because your order is so complicated.
It's true. It's true. They got to usually get the assistant manager on that bad boy.
Yeah. And we always, and you know what's crazy? We never look in the bag. We never look. We just drive away.
I know you've been burned so many times. Ryan has this, which I think this is a self-imposed thing, because I think the more that you think about it, the more it's going to happen. It's like the universe, but Ryan's order is always wrong. I've never seen anything like it. And we're so dumb that we don't check it because we get home and then he has to make like a turkey sandwich and we're all eating our food. And it's sad, but that's kind of your kryptonite. That's like your bad luck thing.
No, you're talking, what is that? It's like the Bader-Meinhof syndrome where you see something, you think you see it, you think about it, so you see it more.
What? I've never heard of this.
Okay, you got a car. You got a Tesla. And then all of a sudden you see more Teslas on the road. It's called the Bader-Meinhof syndrome.
Oh.
So that's what you're talking about.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely don't think that's the case with me. I think that you have the most complicated orders in the history of the world, and it screws up the people waiting. And
see, you're being just ridiculous right now.
All of a sudden, I don't get my chicken nuggets.
Yeah, but again, that's self-imposed. Hate to tell you. I also hate to tell you this because I'd like you to go with me.
Oh, God.
But there is, in a couple months, there is a new Final Destination movie coming into theaters. It is the 77th one. No, I'm just kidding. It's, I think, like the 6th one, the 5th one, or the 6th one. And it looks so good. I'm going to play just a tiny clip of the trailer because Ryan says sometimes I play clips and they go way too long, which I do agree. So I'm just going to play a little bite-sized clip of the new movie that I'm going to really try to get him to go to, even though he does not like scary movies. This is Final Destination Bloodlines.
I saved a lot of lives that night.
Everyone needs to get off the dance floor!
Lives that were never meant to be saved. But Death doesn't like it when you mess with his plans.
Here's the deal. I don't think Final Destination's a scary movie.
Oh, I think it completely scarred me for life because anytime I'm behind a log truck, that's all I think about.
Yeah. No, I do. I 100% of the time think about that.
Also, there's one with roller coasters. So that's the thing. If you've never seen any of these Final Destination movies, because maybe you have taste in movies and you don't watch this crap, but I love it. And the whole thing about Final Destination is it's usually a group of people and they're doing something and then something goes horribly wrong. There's one with an airplane that crashes. There was one with that
was the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where they were all on an airplane and a guy had a premonition.
Yes.
And he said, everyone get off the plane.
Yes. And that happens every single movie, but it's not always an airplane. Sometimes it's a roller coaster. Sometimes it's the log truck on the road. It shows a group of people and they get killed. And then the main character wakes up and says, I had a premonition, and ends up saving everybody.
Not everybody.
Well, for the most part, saving the main characters. And then the main characters slowly start dying because death.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The main characters, they die throughout the movie. And then how many people live in the end of there's a group of 6 of them.
Literally nobody.
No one lives?
Well, I hate to be a spoiler. I should have probably said that prior. Maybe it's different with this new one, but at the end, it just death catches up to you.
Wait, every single, because I've only seen the first one, I think, and that was a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But all of them die?
Yeah. They get to the end and they're like, we figured it out, because in their mind, everyone, like every movie, they figure out that if we save someone or if we jump ahead and kill the person, because it's like all in order. I feel like I'm explaining this so badly. Anyway, by the end, they think they've all figured it out. And then there's a spectacular death at the end. And ew, I feel gross for liking these movies, but I love them. I'm so excited for this. And you know the guy who played Candyman?
Be my victim.
Yes.
He's been in all of them, and this was his final movie before dying. I think he had cancer, and it was a really long road. And the difference in how he looked in the first one versus the final one, you could tell he's not feeling good. And he did pass away. Could you imagine making all these movies about death, and then you have to face your mortality?
Well, I think everyone has to face their mortality if they were in a death movie.
Well, just everyone in general has to.
I guess. You know what movie I don't like because of that reason?
What?
Night at the Museum.
Wait, I don't understand why.
Robin Williams. He made the movie.
Yeah.
And was it the second one? Maybe, yeah, I think it was the second one or third one or whatever. I don't know that he was in, but he filmed it. Then he passed away. And then it talks about like him, like to die would be a great adventure or something like that in the movie as Teddy Roosevelt and whatnot.
And then he died.
I love Robin Williams so much.
I know. I really don't even like watching any of his movies anymore because it truly bums me out that he died.
I know. He was so awesome. Like he's my, no, this is not going to make sense to anybody. But when John Ritter passed away, you lost it.
Would you two stop exaggerating? You're making mountains out of molehills.
What's wrong with me when John Ritter, and it's not even like, I mean, I watched Three's Company a little bit growing up. That was a little before my time. So, it's not like it was hot and cool, just like it was with Beverly Hills 90210. But when John Ritter died, I don't know what was going on in my life, but I cried for like 2 days. I just start crying. I was just so sad. He just seemed like the greatest guy.
He seemed incredibly likable, right? But I think Robin Williams, I'm like, it's been, how long has it been since Robin Williams died? Like 10, 12 years?
It's been past 10 years, which blows my mind.
Yeah, I still get sad about it. Like, just I see him in a movie, I'm like, he's so awesome. I think it's because Sophie and I used to watch a lot of Robin Williams movies together.
So it makes you think of like childhood.
No, like with her. Like when she was a little kid.
Yeah.
And we liked Robin Williams.
Speaking of, what about that monstrosity that was Aladdin that was remade with Will Smith?
I don't think I ever watched that.
Oh, it was so bad. Please don't watch it. I don't understand why we have to continue to change and reimagine movies that are perfect. There are some movies where it's like, yes, we can grow on this. Or there are movies like Final Destination where it's like, this is the same stuff.
Yeah, but like the live action Disney movies, they're like 50-50. Like 50% of them hit, 50% of them, it's like, no way.
Yeah.
Like Lion King made like $1 billion. Actually, the Jungle Book one we watched with Murph, that was awesome. Snow White. 10.
I'm trying to look at this at my notes from Saturday's Roundup, which if you haven't listened to Saturday's Roundup, you still can. Obviously, it's posted. And it's just music, movies, and what's trending in the world. And I do it every Saturday. And where are the notes? It was because Snow White is out in theaters. It came out last week and it made such little money. They say that if you spend, this is what they spent on the movie, $150 million to make this Snow White live action. They say an opening weekend, you should make half of what you spent And that's an indicator if you're going to make any money on the project. Well, 150 million. And I think it brought in 42 million.
Oh, so they're going to lose money.
Way lose money. But you're right. It is so. But I don't think I've watched a live action Disney movie that I've actually liked. I'm just going to say it. I think they're all kind of garbagey.
Live action?
Mm-hmm.
You like the Jungle Book?
Yeah, that's good. But I mean, I like the cartoon original better.
Yeah.
Like of all the remakes, do you think the Mufasa movie is better than the Lion King?
Well, Mufasa's a different story, but Murph and I just watched that the other day and it was good. I mean, it wasn't like great. It was just good.
That's what I'm talking about. All these movies, because the Lilo and Stitch movie is coming out, the live action.
Excited for that.
I know you're excited for it, but it has to be pretty good for you to say, because I'm going to ask. First of all, I will go to that with you.
Yeah.
You got to go to Final Destination.
I'll do Final Destination.
You will?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think here's the deal. I think that the reason I don't like scary movies is they're typically awful. They're bad movies. They make them because they're cheap to make. They're the same formula, and it's just typically a bad movie. So the entire hour and a half, I'm like, this is awful.
Oh God, I love these movies so much. And this one is the Final anyway.
But Final Destination movies are good.
Yeah, those are good ones. So we're going to be seeing that one. And we are literally already out of time.
No.
Swear to you. Isn't that weird?
I want to sit here and talk to you all day.
I know. What about when I do that voice?
Nope. That's when I'm leaving.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for listening. And thanks to everybody for downloading. You can set it on automatic download and it'll just do it for you at 4 a.m. when these episodes post. And then again, 4 a.m. on Saturdays, we do the weekly roundup. And I really enjoyed doing that. So be sure to catch up on all the episodes of Sadie and Friends. And thank you so much. We'll be back tomorrow. By we, I mean me and whoever I can drag in here to have a conversation.
I'll see you tomorrow.
It's always you. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Going to give another shout out to an amazing sponsor. They've been with me for so long. It's Christiana Salon Spa. Go to christianasalonspa.com and make that appointment. Whether you want to go in and get a fresh new look, you got to get a fade. I think that's what the kids call it. You want to make sure that your hair looks good. The last time I went into Christiana, it's been too long, but I got my hair colored and it was like this Coca-Cola color. Oh, I loved it so much, but it's starting to kind of wear off. So I'm going to be making another appointment. But if you want a massage, you want a facial, you want to get your nails done, maybe you're planning a girls' day. This is the perfect place for a girls' day. It is bougie inside and out, but it is reasonably priced. And speaking of, mention the podcast, you're going to get 10% off your treatment. So why wouldn't you go check them out? They're in Johnstown, right by the Shields. Christiana Salon Spa, a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends podcast.